If you love British fiction as much as I do, you have come across the term fairy cakes and probably wondered what they are. Essentially, they're similar to American cupcakes. They're a little shorter. They're served either plain or with just maybe a glaze of icing. They're not like piled high with icing the way we tend to do with our cupcakes here in America. So today I'm bringing you a recipe that I tweaked a little bit to make Susan's fairy cakes. Welcome to Susan's Cozy Kitchen. Today I'm making fairy cakes. The first ingredient, a stick of butter that you have let come to room temperature so it's nice and soft. Now, I am using salted butter, but you could definitely use unsalted butter, just whatever you have, use that. To the butter, I'm going to add a half cup sugar. Lower that, lock it, and turn it on. And I'm just going to let this blend together until it's light and creamy. So, if you're doing this in a stand mixer, chances are very good that you're going to need to stop and scrape down the sides because everything starts just sort of pushing away from the beater. All right, put that back down. Lock and turn it back on. Alright, it's nice and creamy, so now I'm going to add 2 eggs. Just going to do them one at a time. So there's the first egg. And now here's the second. A teaspoon of pure vanilla. Okay. Now, I have 3/4 cup of self-rising flour. To that, I'm going to add a teaspoon of baking powder. I'm going to use a fork and just gently mix that into the flour. And now I'm going to turn this back on low and just sprinkle some in a little at a time. And again, according to all of the recipes that I read, you don't want to overmix. So I will let this go until it's all mixed in. Okay, it is mixed. This is almost like a thin cookie dough instead of a cake batter. It's a nice light dough, and I think it just feels fluffy. I'm just going to spoon about the same amount into each one. Oh, while I'm preparing this, I'm going to turn this on to bake 350 degrees. And I'm going to set it for 12 minutes, but I'm really going to check it around 10. So bake 350, 12 minutes. And if you're looking to do this in a conventional oven, 375 and for about 12 to 15 minutes. One thing I did do to the recipe is I did slightly Americanize it. None of the recipes that I saw called for any type of flavoring in the batter for the fairy cakes. I didn't want just plain fairy cakes, so I did add the vanilla extract. I did not see anyone calling for any type of flavoring. Now that I have these in here, I'm just going to smooth them out a little bit and try to give them a nice little even top. All right. So there they are, ready to go in the oven. The oven's ready, let's put them in. All right, okay, I checked these at 10 minutes and they weren't quite finished yet. I just lightly tapped the top of one of them and it left an indentation. Let's see, now that they've cooked the full 12 minutes, if they're ready. They're giving me that little bounce back. So let's pull them out. They're a nice, beautiful golden brown. They look yummy. I've had help in the kitchen lately, and my cake tester is nowhere to be found. We'll just go with a handy dandy toothpick. Let's see. And it came out perfectly clean. Alright, and they all are done. Once these cool, I will make the glaze for the top and then we'll decorate them. Okay, these are cool now, so let's get going with the icing. A cup of icing sugar, which we call a cup of powdered sugar or confectioner sugar. So let's use their icing sugar. To that, I'm just going to add a sprinkle of salt. You know what I always say, if you've got something sweet, add a little bit of salt to it. So just a sprinkle of salt, not a lot. So now I'm just going to turn it on to low. I have my half and half. I'm going to put in a tablespoon at a time until I get it to the right consistency. So there's 1 tablespoon. Here's the second. Now I'm just going to add a tiny bit of pure Mexican vanilla extract. I'll put about a half teaspoon. Just barely any. Because I don't want it to be just pure sugar on top of my fairy cakes. I like there to be a little flavoring in there. Once all the sugar mixes in, then I'll be ready to put it over the tops of the fairy cakes. Okay, and that's all mixed together. Alright, so this is probably going to be a little messy, but you know, life's messy, right? I'm just going to spoon up a little bit and just drizzle it over and let it just spread to the outer edges. Most of these are below the top of the paper, so it's just going to run across to the paper edges and stop. I'll just keep going until I get them all finished. And now I'm going to decorate just a few of them slightly Christmassy. I have some M&Ms. Just going to put on top of a couple of these. Not everyone in my house likes chocolate. Just going to decorate a few of these and then leave the rest plain. Okay. Once you get everything decorated, put it on a little stand and they are ready to serve. I'm going for this one right here with the chocolate pieces on top. Now this is peeling away very nicely. It has a light, delicate flavor. The crumb to it is different than a cake, but I like it. It did rise. I was surprised at how much they actually rose. You know, this wasn't even half full on most of them, and it rose all the way to the top. So the extra baking powder definitely did help it to rise up and be light and fluffy, but yet dense. It doesn't make sense, but you would have to eat it to see what I'm saying. As always, the full recipe is in the description box below, along with any tips, hints, and just little pieces of information that I think you might find interesting, or something that I feel that you may need to know about the video that I forgot to say when I was filming. Also, you will find my links to social media, as well as a listing of products that I used today if not the exact same, similar ones, along with links so that you can take a look at those if you need to add something to your kitchen. If you enjoyed today's video, please be sure and give me a big thumbs up. While you're there, if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and make sure to hit that notification bell so that you find out every time I upload a new video to YouTube. Thanks for watching. God bless.